why is my stuff not being seen? Why do I feel invisible? Why do I post and then have a few people like, maybe a comment there, here and there, but nothing actually feels like it's being seen? I have, over 1,000 followers and no one is commenting. Da, da, da. How much do you say this to yourself on the daily? How much are you thinking about, how do I get seen? How do I get my message out there, my offers out there? Why are people not buying? Why are people not commenting? Where are the people? Visibility. We think that we need more visibility. And in this episode, in this little chat we're going to have, I want to talk about why your stuff isn't getting seen, how to shift it, and how to actually get it seen, right? So that, number one, you can grow your impact, grow your audience, and make more sales, because that's the whole point of being in business. And we're going to take it from the human design perspective, because that is my expertise. It's what I love talking about. And it's what I know and deeply know to work, both for myself and for my clients. If we haven't met, I'm Rachael, and I am conducting a little experiment this week. I'm going completely off script, no outline, nothing. I completely riffing, because I've learned something interesting about myself, and that is I really love talking, and I really love just going off on a topic. Usually it's something I'm responding to, like someone's asked a question, or I'm a mani gen, so of course I'm going to respond to things. But I love just going off on a topic and riffing from my perspective and what I've learned. It's very much in my design to just riff and go off on a topic. Okay, so that's what we're doing in this. But I do want you to know that we're talking about visibility. We're talking about being seen and being heard and selling your stuff. How do we do that? Because most of you, I can guarantee you, you're doing the things. You're posting consistently, or as consistently as you can. Maybe you go consistent for a little while and then drop off or whatever. You're making offers. You're selling some, yes, you have some success. You're not a complete newbie. The people that I work with, my human design perspective and messaging help really is for the people that are a little further along. They know what they want to do. They know what they're really good at. They know what they're passionate about. Okay. And with that, they start to think about, how do I market my work? Logical question. How do I market myself? How do I show up as myself selling my thing? And we start looking around at what other people are doing. We're looking at what, there's always a plethora of advice out there. You just have to scroll through your feed for somebody to say, hey, 10 best hooks to get visibility, or here's what you need to do in your messaging to make people buy. Plethora of advice out there. So we start looking at what that advice is. We start going, oh, well, they obviously know more than I do, so I'm going to listen to them. And we go down this rabbit hole and leave our own intuition, our own trusting ourselves kind of on the back burner. We trust ourselves with clients. We trust ourselves in our sessions. We trust ourselves with our work and in our personal lives. But when it comes to marketing, when it comes to sharing your work, creating content, making offers, launching your offers, writing emails, we stop and we go, hold up. There's a certain way I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to write it this way. I'm supposed to put the hook this way. I'm supposed to da 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 da. Bleh. And we forget who we are. We forget how we naturally want to show up. We forget how we really want to talk about our work. And we try to fit it into a box. And I see this a lot, because what happens is, maybe initially you started out just showing up and sharing your work, and one of two things happens. Either one, it's not getting any traction, so you go off down the rabbit hole of learning messaging and learning marketing, leaving yourself and your authentic expression behind. Or two, it does work, but you feel like you're supposed to do it a certain way. There's still this, I have to create content in a certain way, and I'm going to do it that way. And you created some success in that because you're a good student. I know I'm a really good student. I learned copywriting. That's what I did. I dove into it, learned it. I learned and understood the concept of buyer psychology and why people buy and all these different things. But it didn't change the fact that I still do not want to convince someone to work with me. I still will not chase a client down the street going, hey, want to buy my thing? That is absolute no. It's not the vibe. That's not what we're doing here. I am sharing what I do with people in a way that feels as natural and easy as it is breathing so that people know, hey, that's what it's like to work with her. Hey, oh my gosh, that's what she does in her work. I want that. I know she can help me. So we go back to like what you're doing in your marketing right now. You're trying to get visible. You're trying to grow your audience. You're trying to do trial reels and all these different platforms to figure out what actually works for you. It's the adage of throwing spaghetti at the wall. The problem becomes is that you're doing it in a way that actually goes against your energetic blueprint, your human design, the way that you want to show up. And what happens when you are trying to do it in a way that someone else said works, your undefined centers, your conditioning will take over. And it will, because it's not the way that you want to do it. So it's not in your dominant energy. So your undefined centers, that's when they kick in and they're like, hey, what are you doing here? Who do you think you are to say that? Who are you to think? Right? Or I don't think you should say it like that. I think we should soften it just a little bit. We don't want to be too bold. We don't want to make anyone upset, right? And instead of trusting your voice, trusting your authentic expression, which by the way, doesn't always feel comfortable right away. Most of my clients, once we hit on, oh my gosh, this is the message. This is what you were here to say. It feels a little uncomfortable because it's going against what they've learned up until this point in their life. So they have to step out of their comfort zone, be a little bit uncomfortable, and share the thing that they really are passionate about, the thing that matters the most to them, the way that they want to show up. And that's when visibility kicks off. And honestly, it doesn't usually look the way that you think it looks. Yes, eventually you get to lots going viral and all the things, but you don't go viral following a template. Whoever said that you can, I really would love to see this. Like, I want them to come into my business and say, I will make a reel for you and it's going to go viral. I really want to see that because I don't think it's actually going to work at all because it needs to be me. It needs to be the way that I show up, the way that I want to communicate. Maybe that's reels, maybe it's not. Maybe it's long form, maybe it's short form. You know how you want to show up. Every time I ask a client, hey, what would feel the most supportive, light, fun, and exciting to promote your business and be visible? It's usually not the thing that they're currently doing. It's usually some other form of marketing, but they've talked themselves out of it because they're like, but I think I'm supposed to do it this way. That's why you're not being visible. If you would listen to yourself, this goes back to trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, your way of being over what the experts are saying is the way to success. There's a multitude of ways to be successful. All of them have probably nothing to do with whoever's selling you something. You are unique. You came here with a different message than everyone else. So your visibility is going to show up when you trust yourself, when you are like, no, this is the way I want to show up. It's a little bit of why I'm doing this experiment and going completely off script, because I believe this is actually what works the best for me. And if I continue down this road of doing videos this way, number one, it's going to be so much easier to actually make the videos, take so much less time, and have the bigger impact. Because do you guys know the 80-20 rule? We can apply this to anything. We can apply this to messaging. 80% of your messaging is the energy that you're doing it in. So the energy being your mindset, whether or not you're aligned authentically with your human design, whether you are second guessing yourself, right? It's the mindset, the energy behind it. If you're doing something and constantly second guessing it or wondering if it's right or shifting it to something that's not really you, but you're like, well, it's supposed to sell, so I'll do it that way. It's not going to work. It's going to feel like pushing that boulder up a hill versus doing something in your energy, trusting yourself, trusting the process, being your authentic expression, doing it the way you want to do it, talking about what you want to talk about, and leaving it at that. Like, your business cannot help but grow. Your dream clients are going to be like, oh my God, where have you been? You'll suddenly be visible to them when before you were completely invisible because you weren't shining your light, your specific, unique, crown of a different color way of being. And the more that you do that, the more that your people come to you, the more that you grow. So visibility is not about the right hook. It's not about having the right framework or the right viral whatever. It is about you trusting yourself to show up as your authentic expression. Human design shows us exactly what that is, along with how you're going to F yourself up. I know it shows me exactly how I will trip myself up. I will overthink it. I will think it's not good enough, and I will worry that people don't like it. That's my undefined centers. Like, that's 100% the story that I tell myself every time. But you know what? I know that when I show up as myself, regardless of what happens, regardless of whether or not this video goes viral or not, regardless of whether or not the offer sells, I know that I'm showing up as me, and it is inevitable that it will work. It will. It just, like, it has no choice. Like, the universe works in this way. When you honor yourself, when you honor your voice and what you came here to say, and showing up as yourself, like, the world has no choice but to fall in love. This is what we're doing inside of your Unfair Advantage program that I have going right now. Doors are open for just a little bit longer. In this, like, it is, there's nothing on the internet like it. And I don't say that lightly. Like, we understand what you are doing to hold yourself back and make yourself small. What is the programming that you have, like, taken on as your own when it's not? How are you showing up? What are the things that you're saying? What is holding you back from truly saying what you want to say? Then we're aligning it to your human design, your unfair advantage, the way that you naturally express, your gates and channels and centers and your type and your profile, understanding how the definition in your chart really works to make you, you. We all have a unique way of being and sharing it with the world. And I want to give you that permission. It's so crazy. I just did a week Telegram group, and we did a Zoom room where I was reading charts. And the fascinating thing about that room is that I would go around and read their chart and tell them, like, this is the dominant energy. This is what you really want to show up with. But here's how you're going to get caught. Here's how the conditioning is going to stop that. And every single one was like, yep, that resonates so deeply. And every single one was different too. It wasn't like I was saying the same thing over and over. Like, your chart is unique. This is what I love about it. Like, it is unique to you. And I can read it and see where you are stopping yourself and what your actual authentic expression is and how to do that in your marketing. The last bit of the program is implementing it, embodying it into all facets of your business, whether your offers, your messaging, your content, your emails, like all of those pieces, embodying it in that. So when you show up, it's not that big of a deal. We make way too big a deal out of this. It's just you showing up and talking about your work. Really make too big a deal out of it. And honestly, in this digital age of AI and fake, the more you can be, the better off you will be. The more that people will be like, thank God someone showed up as themselves. Thank God you're not faking it. Thank God you're not trying to perform for me. I don't want that. I want someone that's real, authentic themselves, and whatever that means to you. It's written in your chart. All right, y'all. I think that's it. We're going to wrap this up with a little bow. Check out the details below if you want information on the program, and I will see you on the inside.
Your voice is the portal, not the plan, not the template, not the trend.